In this video, we cover our next programming lab, number 9, texture mapping. And we go step by step over different pieces of code that you would need to put in your OpenGL project while adding texture support to your program. I already downloaded the project prototype, so I'm just going to open it in Visual Studio. And so this will be under Lab subfolder, Lab 9, and that's the solution. Upgrade, and we should be able to build. The build is okay, so I'm just going to try running this, pressing Ctrl F5. And try to navigate this scene using WASD keys. So I'm just noticing that the speed of motion that I currently have is just way too quick. Okay, so I'm just going to change that. Right, so let's open the source subfolder for Lab 9, and it should be in the main file. And this is somewhere down here at the bottom of the main function. We have the maximum speed, 0.1 units, so it's a little bit aggressive for my taste, so I'll just try to reduce it maybe like 0.06, and perhaps wing roll is also too fast, so perhaps we can make it 0.3, something like this. So let's do a quick test. So these are my current changes. So maximum speed 0.006, wing roll 0.03. So Ctrl F5 to quickly test. And I'll just maximize the window. The aspect ratio is preserved very nicely. So now the steering takes place when you drag the mouse. Okay, so when you drag the mouse, the steering takes place. Zooming is now done with the right click of the mouse. That's the zooming. Let me try it. Right, so this is the zooming here. And the usual WSD controls. So we can just start flying on top of this plane. And so you can see that the motion is quite nice, and it's not very difficult to control it with the mouse. So I'm just going to try flying a little bit more. Okay, so let's try adding a texture to this dragon figure. So under Models BMP, I have this texture named Scales. Okay, so this appears to be green, so I probably need to change the colors of the material in our initial setup, because ours appears to be red with purple specks as we left it since we worked on our light computation lab. So this is in our main function. I'm just going to adjust the material properties. So this is all shifted towards the red component. So I'm just going to change this to 0.1 and 0.7 for the green side of things, and here 0.1 and 0.7 as well to shift to the green shades. Alright, let's do a quick test. Okay, and yeah, so I'm going to press the zoom button, pink specular components here, so let's update that as well. Just use neutral 111. Okay, so that's for the specular component. Right, pressing Ctrl F5, doing a quick test on the specular color. Alright, so this is how now it looks like. Okay, and so this time let's set the file path to this texture file scales.bmp. So the path is set right at the top here. So currently it's pointing to numbers, which I use for debugging, but now I'm going to change it back to scales. Alright, so now we should be ready to start working on the changes to accommodate this texture.